Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Delphi Live. It's
Welcome to
Roy
the bottles.
and Val. So we've been busy, right? So,
Yes.
well, we haven't been, but
Well, whatever.
we got these from somebody
Yeah.
that drinks a lot.
So we thought that the bottle cutter would be something kind of fun to show you. I think sometimes people get a little intimidated by it. And, you know, it's not always a sure thing. But if you're some of those people, which sometimes I could be, who seem to accumulate lots of bottles, then sometimes it's kind of fun to be able to recycle them or do something with it. So we thought this would be kind of a good one because not only could it be a good gift to make someone a pretty something out of one of your prettier bottles, you know, for a vase or whatever, or even a gift to give someone who you know uses a lot of bottles to have to play around with. Because I don't think this particular tool, I don't think is specifically for glass people, you know, because
anybody wants to
my
cut some
husband
bottles,
had bought the same one, and he's not a glass person, but he had we had some cool bottles he wanted to try to cut. So
if you're a glass artist, right, this one, they cut the bottom off this and then mosaiced it. And now you can just slide this over a candle, right? So if you have a candle, right, you can just kind of slide it over the candle and it really lights up pretty nice. It's they're pretty fun.
Put a little hat on it to cover up the top.
Now, we do admit that it does help if there's at least a good section of it that's where the sides are parallel, are relatively parallel, right? So usually we cut it along that parallel side, not on the curved spots, not so easy. So again, some of these, like on this blue one's got a little bit longer neck, so you know, we would cut it down in here somewhere, so not up in the neck area.
Okay.
Well, we probably should just
just jump right into it.
Let's do it. So we mentioned before the bottle cutters made by creators. It does come with it does come with instructions that both you and I said are really pretty easy to read. They're really geared for the people that are just doing this for the first time.
It was real. I mean, they are really good.
Yeah, and there's nice images in there. It's a really easy way of sort of doing this. And it does come with, so this is what the bottle cutter looks like, right? You can see that you're going to put the back end up here. There's a cutting head that's here, and as Val pointed out, we can adjust where the cutting head. There's two things with the cutting head we can adjust, right? One would be where we're going to cut it, and the other is how much tension is on the cutting head.
This section right here where this black screw is, this is the one that'll slide and give you where you decide you want to cut your bottle.
Yeah,
that'll slide up and down that black bar. And then when you get it where you want it, you already put it there?
Yeah, no, okay. I was going to go up a little higher. I think we're going to go like maybe up there. How's that? Is that good?
And then you tighten it.
And then we tighten it. And then we have to.
This part's.
Yeah, this part's a tricky part, right? I have to depress the cutting head, so I got to push down on the cutting head, and then
tighten this down. So now
we'll show you here in a second,
yeah.
right?
So that keeps the head compressed.
Yeah. So I compress the head, and then once it was compressed, we tighten it down here. That holds the head in place. And then what's nice also about this particular bottle cutter is I can adjust these to help with the balance, right? So depending on where the bottle's at, I can move any of these things.
They're like rollers.
Yeah, the little rollers.
So, and also on this plastic foot thing, there's a black line right here.
Yeah, good point.
So they say use this black line. I don't know, you want me to turn it so you can see it? Sure. Okay. See this black line right here? So you're supposed to then follow that down to your bottle and put a line there so that when you turn, when that line comes around, you'll know where you started. Because you don't really want to crunch over what you've already scored, because that sometimes can, you know. This is some kind of plastic, thicker plastic, and this is a padded foam thing. And what they want you to do is they want you to push. No, I don't think it doesn't even say push down, but hold this on, a bit snug. So when we release the cutting head, it's going to come up and click into the bottle, and you have to have a little pressure here just so the bottle won't kick up. And then all you do once that head kicks up and the wheel will touch the glass or touch the bottle, then you're going to roll towards you, and you keep your hand on here just to keep, I think, a little pressure, don't you think?
Yeah, that sounds great. So.
Yep. Did you hear it?
Yep, made a little noise.
Made a little.
And then now we're going to come around and score it. So I'm doing it the opposite of what you said.
Yeah, I was going to say, but We always don't follow the directions exactly. But that's looking good. You're doing good. I can see it good.
Yep. And I just hit it. I just met the score line back up. And then, of course, as we often say in the world of glass cutting, you know, cutting is one thing, but breaking it's another thing, right? So a totally other thing. So how do you break this, right? There's a wide variety of ways, and you and I have talked about some of them. What comes with the kit, are these nice little rubber
and if you don't want to use
O-rings.
them, you don't have to. Okay, so what they're really designed to do is to space them and then keep them on either side of your score line. And then that way, if you know, because here's the deal, what we're going to do, right, to crack these and get these to break is basic thermal shock 101, right? Yep. I mean, we're going to get something hot and turn it real cold quick, or you can even do it the opposite way. So I think we were trying to err on the other side, right?
Yeah, I'm trying not to. It was cold. I don't want to get too super hot.
Isn't this riveting?
Wow, this is good.
Everybody, watch the bottle turn.
All right, how not now?
Yeah, it's pretty hot now.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'll hold the gun. Yay!
Yay! Oh, that's the way it's supposed to work, right? So.
Heat gun gets it a little too
hot.
Do
you see it? I mean, it broke nice and clean. That's a positive
really
sign.
Nice.
So, right? So what's nice about the kit, if you're buying this bottle cutter, it does come with a small abrasive stone, which, you know, what I like about this one is it's flat on one side and it's curved on another. So again, if you're coming, I'm not going to do this one, but just pretend, right? So you could get that curved little edge here, right? You could get that, or you could use a flat side on top. So.
You should do pretty versatile. This one. That one's
that one. Oh, this one I can do it on, right? So again, typically when I'm doing these, when I'm using an abrasive stone, I get it wet. I always like it a little wet for a couple of reasons. One is I don't think it chips as much when you're doing this, but you can see you can come in and just try to get that inside lip. Again, if you're using this like as a drinking glass, that's usually the concern is that inside lip and the very outside edge. So you could use a flat edge on that outside edge just like that. This kit also comes though with a little bit of waterproof abrasive paper, right? So wet dry sandpaper. We use some other things though to sometimes get a nice lip to them. One is a real simple one is just using these diamond hand pads. Surprisingly, something Delphi sells in case you want to purchase a few. And they come in different grits, which is nice, right? So the most aggressive one is a 70 grit. So it's a little more coarse. I know that's probably hard to see on the camera. And they just get finer and finer. I tell you a lot of times, like if I was doing this one that broke pretty cleanly, I wouldn't start with the most aggressive one. I think it's a little too much. But like 120 is about a pretty standard. And then you can move up to a 400 grit. Often I don't think you need, it's a 220. So then we go 220 and then 400, right? If you want it that'll get it really nice and smooth. So there's a few ways of doing that, and I have one more way of showing you. And I actually like this technique, especially when maybe it's a little irregular and you really want it to be nice and even, and you have to get a little more aggressive with the grinding. So I just have a regular piece of window glass, right? I mean, this one happens to be sandblasted, but it's just, you want a nice, really flat, smooth piece of glass. Like I said, window glass works the best. And then the other thing that we have available for you guys is some abrasive. So it's silicon carbide. It comes in a wide variety of grits. This one is it's like a 100 to 200 grit. You can see it's just a powder. I'm going to take some out here in a second and put it on this piece of glass. And then it comes in different ones, right? There's a 60-90 grit, a 400 grit, a 600 grit. I think for most of this bottle stuff, I think about 400 is about all you need. You can buy the 600 if you want it really, really super smooth, but I don't find that as necessary. I'm just grabbing about a tablespoon. Yeah, here's one of the tricks to this little thing is take a little bit of dish soap, like a tiny bit, right, and add it to it. What it does is, since we're going to add some water to this, what the dish soap does is just help keep all those little particles together more. Otherwise, they tend to clump a bit. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water to this. It's my drinking water, but that's all right. Try not to make a mess. I mean, you can't make it like really too thin. I mean, you don't want it running all over the glass and off it, right? So, but you want it to, you can see how it's kind of clumping up and stuff. We need it, again, wetter than that. So let me add just a tiny bit more water. And you want to just make circles. What's ideal is to do like even small figure eights. And sometimes while I'm doing it, I also rotate it as I'm moving it around. That way you're not always just, grinding one side or the other, right? If I hold it still and just go back and forth, it's possible you'll get it slightly not level, right? So come around. One of the reasons why I like using an abrasive like this is, if you can see it, it kind of clumps up, it's raised above the surface, and it will get those edges that like even that little bit of that outside edge. Not only does it get the flat side of the glass bottle, but it also, some of this loose stuff will get in there and kind of soften the edges too, so you often don't have to go back and soften the edge. Again, great bottle cutter. Again, if you guys have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Suggestions for next time?
Yeah, we're always looking for nice suggestions. We are probably going to be back in a couple weeks, is the plan, I think.
Are we?
Normally.
Okay, all right.
Good, we'll be back. So, well, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you guys next time.